You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily, and we now move into our communities to look at some pressing issues there. Now, this morning we are looking at education and some of the indisciplines, that really come out during schools, meetings, interactions, and all that. We've recorded one of such incidents where two schools are clashing, but what really is causing this? We have a report that we are going to play. Now, when we are done, we'll come back and try to get understanding how long has this been going on and what really is the way forward in trying to mitigate some of these things and bringing them to the barest minimum, if not being able to eliminate them as a whole. So let's take a look at this report and come back.
On Sunday evening, approximately 30 students from Koforidua SecTech, who share a wall with Juaben Senior High School, initially invaded the school to attack students, but were later driven away by the police, who were called to the scene. Later that night, after the police had left the Juaben school premises, hundreds of SecTech students returned and began pelting stones. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. SecTech students vandalized a school bus with registration number GV 81514, damaged the windshield of the headmaster's Toyota Corolla, ransacked the school sick bay, caused damage to the roofs of 3 teachers' bungalows, and destroyed 2 Rambo poly tanks that served the boys' dormitory and the teachers' bungalow. The 4 injured students from the Juaben Senior High School and the school's chaplain, who were seriously hurt during the attack, have since been treated and discharged from the hospital. Upon arrival at the school the next morning, Citi News observed numerous stones and other objects at the scene of the incident. Mark Frimpong, the headmaster of the Juaben Senior High School, confirmed to Citi News that 4 students have been arrested.
And when I reported the case to my regional director, he said we should rather call the parents to come and then secure bail for their awards. So I know by now it's more than 24 hours, so they've been granted bail.
However, he mentioned that the headmaster of Koforidua SecTech has requested the cost of all the damaged items.
The headmaster said I should put some value on the items damaged. But sorry to say, I'm not a consultant. For instance, the vehicle, I can't just, because they also destroyed 2 of our Rambo 800 polytanks that used to serve the boys and some of the masters. They've destroyed them completely, as well as the sick bay was also under siege. Lies properties, the roofs of about 3 bungalows around. Yes, they were just throwing stones, and the roof is just the slate type. So any stone that is will just break it up. So the roofs will be leaking seriously. Right.
This recent attack is not the first of its kind, as expressed by the alumni of the Juaben Senior High School, who are deeply concerned about the safety of the students. Eugene Owari-Cranton, president of the 1992 Alumni Association, believes it's time for the alumni from both schools to intervene and prevent such incidents from reoccurring.
Worry is this is not a new thing. It has been there for years. Always you have misunderstanding between SecTech and Juaben. It's just a war that separates them. And these are big institutions in the eastern region, and that is why I'm saying that if possible, whether old students or those who matter must come in, sit both students down and see how best they can advise them. We are living in a situation whereby the economy is not that favorable. A lot of things are happening. We don't have money. So if you damage government properties, you are not doing good to anybody.
Efforts to reach the management of Koforidua SecTech was unsuccessful.
Behind me is a wall which happens to separate the 2 institutions, that is the Koforidua Senior Technical School SecTech and the Juaben Senior High School. Now, management are worried by the incessant attacks by students of SecTech, and they are planning to have a private security to guard the school.
Right, so this is what happened in Koforidua, David. Very, very unfortunate, and really, we don't know what triggered this whole thing. Why would students be involved in stuff like this, vandalizing property, doing all this? Really, what was the problem?
So it's like a lot of things that we do in this country, right? When you see how we are territorial and possessive over the group we belong to. So you see it in politics, you see it in church, you see it in not just church, but you see it in religion. You know, you see it in our traditional practices where it's like if you are not on our side, it's like you are our enemy, you know. And this rivalry, like the man said, it's not a new rivalry.
Yeah.
Okay? It's been there for long. I mean, I didn't do my secondary school here, but when I came to uni, I used to hear stories of Koforidua SecTech and, you know, New Juaben always at each other, you know. But I think what has happened is we've not drilled down deep and sent a strong enough message in terms of punishments for these things. It's like, oh, they are boys. They are boys. It's like, oh, boys will be boys. So, you know, you go and then you just slap on their wrist and then, you know, we let everything go, you know. And so, look, the greatest deterrent for wrongdoing is strong, severe, swift punishment.
Yeah.
People, listen, if you think that the people who are currently in the secondary school know that there are chances of expulsion and the curtailing of their academic career will happen if they are known to be involved in this, do you think they will get up and go and do? You see,
no, because
so,
every student involved in this really has no business being there.
No, you shouldn't be in the school.
At all.
You should not belong to a
At
school.
all,
You are not of the caliber that should be even part of a secondary school system. No.
You know, because the level of, damage caused and all
It shows your mindset.
Exactly.
It shows the way your mind works. And you are, dude, these people are what? They are between like 15 and 20 years old. This is the age group that you're talking about. Do you understand? So they are not ignorant, naive. They know what they are doing.
No, you see, and
the police stopped them. The police stopped them initially. Then they said, okay, fine, police, you go home and go and sleep, isn't it?
Yes.
So when the police left, in the middle of the night, they returned.
you come back.
They came to launch another assault.
And you come there, about 30 students come to the compound, you know, of New Juaben, and then attack students and cause huge damage.
Yeah.
I mean, this, I don't know how, I mean, look, this is a serious offense, and I'm excited and very happy that the police has gotten involved. And these are not children.
No,
because
no,
if you are not afraid,
and
you can go all out, you know, to attack a whole school. Not just seeing one student by the roadside and maybe attacking the staff, invade the campus.
Smashing the glasses in the buildings, in the school bus, all of, look, listen, I think the police should slam the hammer down hard. You know, find out the people who are involved. You know, and look, you know something, one of the good things about this kind of setups is that people will snitch, by all means, and we will know. And when certain names repeatedly come up, we will know the people who are involved. And listen, I don't think that when the investigation is done, anybody who is found culpable should be allowed to continue their education in the school.
It's very, very unfortunate, you know, and I mean, I'm happy that their parents had to come and sign their bail bonds, you know, and these students must be also made to sign bonds of good behavior and all this. Wherever you go, if you are expelled from SecTech, wherever you go, that thing
before you are admitted.
follow. Because when you go for a new school, when you go seeking admission for a new school, you'll be asked why you are coming here, and then explain, you know. And now the news is out there. Everybody, I mean, we were talking about it this morning. It means that everybody will know. So if you are going to a different school from SecTech, they will demand, if you were one of these students, and if you sit home and get your exams done at home, if no school is admitting you, next time when you find yourself in a formal environment, you will think twice before doing some of these things.
And then again, it to be a lesson learned and a message sent to all those who are thinking that it is something that they would like to get involved in. You should not get involved in such activities.
Usually, it's very unfortunate, you know, the kind of tag we are gradually having on some SecTech schools. You know, most of the time you feel that, okay, so these sometimes are slightly older than the normal SHS students, so they bully people, they do that. I remember when I was in St. Monica's, you know, when we go for inter-colleges and all that, when the KTI people are coming, you see that these are they are brass coming, you understand? So you are a bit scared.
So they're a little older. So even the 15 I was giving them is too old. They're 17 to 22-year-olds.
You know, so they tend to bully, but I don't think that is right. You know, I mean, I left secondary school quite a while ago, so I'm not sure the age, how the age is now, like, you know, but this has been the trend. And some of them take advantage of this and bully the younger ones in the SHSs and all that. But we can't accept this.
No.
I mean, illegality is illegality.
Unacceptable.
Indiscipline is indiscipline.
In any civilized
society. And I really think that this time around, serious punishment must be meted out to students who are found culpable, because this cannot be done, and we cannot accept things like this. For whatever the issue was, you can't just decide to invade a campus, attack students, attack people, look, injure students, vandalize property, ransack the sick bay, destroy polytanks. You can't do that and go and sit down and take book and say you are reading. It is not done anywhere. If you decide to get yourself at the wrong side of the law, know that the laws will be applied. And I really hope that these children or these students will not be admitted in any senior secondary school. Let them sit at home. Let them register their for their exams as private candidates. Let them go through the hardship of not, because we gave you the opportunity to be in school,
and you threw it away.
to be like any normal student, and you decided not to be like a normal student, to act like a criminal.
A thug.
And so we should take you out of sane people. So you sit in your own corner, but be given the opportunity to write your exam and all these things. But you should not be put together with people who are disciplined, students who really want something for their life, because definitely you don't want that.
You are not one of them. You know, and I also don't think that the school should use, well, I mean, you can, you know, consider private security, but how many people are you going to employ to stay off 30 students if they come rampaging with stones? You can't sustain it. It's not sustainable, right? So 2 or 3 private security people, their students overrun them quite easily. That's not the way to go.
Let's even be realistic about this. Look, some of these senior high schools still have challenges with food and all that. So even employing private security, who is going to fund that, by the way?
Exactly.
You get it? Because
so that's not the way to go. The way to go is the police, having finished their probe, to bring the law hard down, and the court systems to bring the law hard on these students, so that the lesson will be learned and the message will be sent down the line. For years to come, people will know that if you try it, this is what's going to happen.
Right now, Eugene Owari-Kranting is president of the 1992 All Students Association for New Juaben Senior High School, and he joins us via telephone. Thank you very much. Welcome to Breakfast Daily, Eugene.
Thank you very much, madam.
Right. Explain to us, how long has these things been going on? That's between the SecTech and New Juaben Senior High School, and how serious are these encounters?
Madam, please, it has been there for years.
When you say years, what exactly do you mean? 2 years, 3 years, forever?
How many years before your time?
Even during our time, it used like this. In fact, we met it at school.
Okay.
So what will normally cause these things?
Come again?
What will normally cause these kind of clashes?
Sometimes, in fact, during our time, it used to be football matches and what have you. But this time around, as to what triggered it, I really don't.
Interesting. So when things like this happen, you know, just explain to us how does the attack come in from SecTech or from your side, and how does the other party respond?
Well, it actually depends on the situation. With what happened just Sunday, as a matter of fact, nobody is even aware as to what triggered it. According to the headmaster, he only saw the students trooping in with stones. And you know, New Juaben is a mixed school. And most of the times when some of these things happen, the most important is, first of all, to protect the females.
Okay.
And so, in an attempt to do that, some of the teachers were even injured.
So, yeah, go ahead.
But as to what actually brought about the incident, that one nobody knows. The police is still investigating.
Mode of resolution. I mean, let's talk about your time, right? What is a typical mode of resolution from your time when it happens?
The two headmasters, I remember the then headmaster, Mr. Boniface J, went to see the headmaster of SecTech.
Okay.
And then we had a general assembly, and they spoke to us, advised us, told us the vacations involved in some of these things, and then it calmed down. But once in a while, you see that good fashions will misbehave again.
After 30 years of leaving school, I'm sure some time and again you've had occasion to think back and look at what is happening and everything else. What do you think will be a permanent solution to this?
The permanent solution will be maybe involving the chief, the current chief.
Really?
Yes, please.
Okay.
A very good man, outspoken.
Okay.
And if possible, if the municipal, the MC from both sides, that is New Juaben South and New Juaben North, can also come in. And then the headmasters as well as staff also coming together. I think when we get these people around, things will be calm.
I see.
Because because I was even saying yesterday when the police came around that in events like this, quickly the school should have conducted a roll call.
Okay.
Yes, quickly.
Okay.
Then you would have known those who were
involved. At the time and not
those who were not there.
Okay.
And at that period, the question is, where did you go?
Yeah.
But I'm sure both headmasters or both sides did not do that. So currently, you wouldn't know who was absent and who was in by then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you yourself live within the community?
It's a little bit far.
A bit further.
About 10 minutes drive to the place.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Eugene, thank you very much for speaking to us this
Welcome,
morning.
sir.
We appreciate your time.
Sir.
All right.
I'm grateful, sir. God bless you.
All right.
Bye.
So that was Eugene Oware Kuranting, who is the 1992 president, president of the 1992 Old Students Association of the New Juaben Secondary Senior High School.
Now, what beats my understanding is the fact that this has gone on for years.
Oh yeah,
you understand?
Yeah. I actually have a friend who went to Koforidua SecTech.
Yeah.
And it used to be the conversations we had. When this was in tech. We come from class and everything, and it's like reminding us of some of the incidents they used to do.
But I think that old. When these things happen during intercolleges and superzonals, I mean, it's okay because the sports rivalry and all that. Sometimes singing against each other, maybe throwing water and stuff like that. But when it comes to things like this,
violence,
when it's violent,
injury and
injuries,
hurt and
damages and all that, we cannot just think is normal.
Yeah.
It cannot be normal.
It's not normal.
We have our regional correspondent, Neil Amate Kanaku, joining us. Thank you very much, Neil. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much, Prima.
Right. Have we been able to establish what really triggered the clash this time around?
No, we are still trying to get the side of the police with regards to the violent clash on Sunday at the New Juaben Senior High School. We've made contact with the police, but the fact that we give them some time before they can give us exactly what happened. But we all know that with these issues or previous happenings that I've witnessed here in Koforidua, you can link it to the guys. SecTech previously used to be a boys' school before some 10 years back. Ladies were introduced into the school, but the ladies unfortunately do not reside on campus.
Okay.
All the ladies in SecTech, they are day students. But with regards to New Juaben Senior High School, we would have it's a mixed school from the onset. So on Saturdays, entertainment and stuff, you find boys from other senior high schools, specifically SecTech, scaling their wall. They share a wall. It's just a wall that separates the two institutions. So you would find students of SecTech scaling the wall to New Juaben for entertainment. And when it happens like that continuously, the guys on campus, that is the New Juaben guys on campus, always resist these things. I quite remember previously a clash happened and ensued between these two, and when we went into the situation, we realized it was as a result of the guys going to chase their women in that particular school. It became extreme to the extent that students of SecTech burned a block in New Juaben. And then New Juaben in return also went to spray the school field of SecTech with acid. So just recently that SecTech, the school field started going, grab major portions of the school field started seeing green again. So these clashes have been there for some time now, and with a recent one, which just happened just on Sunday, that led 4 students and then the chaplain of Juaben Senior High School getting injured in the process.
Now, from your investigations, trying to understand these issues better, what or how do school management, deal with these things? I mean, from both sides, SecTech and New Juaben, how are the authorities handling these problems?
So after the clash on Sunday, the regional police team came in to ensure the safety of students, and from Sunday to as we speak now, they come on patrols in the school. The school authorities that I spoke to yesterday also indicated that they are trying to employ the services of a private security to ensure that these things do not happen again. Now, even before the clash, I was told that the students came around, about 30 of them came around in the afternoon trying to carry out what they did in the evening, but the school security managed to drive them away before the police came in, before they later returned their numbers after prep in the evening to cause the damages we've recorded in the school. So as we speak now, the school's management is in talks with some old students trying their possible best to secure the services of a private security to ensure that the safety of students is assured and guaranteed.
Now, are you able to tell us whether we've had instances where some students who were involved in some of these clashes were, let's say, expelled just to serve as a deterrent to the rest?
Yes, previously I know of some measures which were taken by both schools, which indefinite what's it called?
Suspension.
Yeah. Yes. And then others also were made to sign a bond of good behavior. But with recent incidents, the severity of the damage caused to the government of Ghana part, and then the injuries which were recorded, I think even the regional education directorates are really keen on ensuring that the perpetrators are brought to book. So as we speak now, it took the intervention of the parents of these wards before bail was even secured for these students who were initially arrested. And then the education directorate is keen on ensuring that justice is served, and then it serves as a deterrent for other students.
Now, since Sunday, have you been able to establish any contact with parents, and what have they been saying?
Yeah, so I understand that the parents were the ones who came in to secure bail for the award. Management are in talks with them, the education directorates are in talks with the parents, and then the command is also dealing with this parent to know the next line of action.
Right. Thank you very much, Neil. We'll come back to you for more updates if there are any.
All right. So that was our correspondent and colleague, Neil Amate Kanaku of the Eastern region. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I think that there's a lot that we need to do. It has to stop. Now, I understand that, you know, after a few generations, when punishments are forgotten, you know, there's a new crop of people, maybe 2 generations, there's been no serious incident. It's likely to spark up again, because as long as you have men territorially protecting their women against other men, you know, there will always be these kinds of situations.
But can you imagine? I mean, students, young people, and you are doing all this in the name of women.
No, but it starts from there. That's how it starts.
That's why you have to whip it
but you know
out
that
of them.
But you know there are wars that have been fought in the world because of this.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, Helen
That's
did so
starts.
much.
Yes.
You know,
Helen of
Helen,
Troy.
hi, Helen
Helen
G.
of Troy.
Yeah, did so much. I understand. But my point, no, but you see, what I'm trying to say is, children must be trained to act as children
properly. Yes.
You understand? You don't go to school and think that I have a girlfriend and somebody's trying to chase them, so I'm going to throw stones, I'm going to destroy things. At age 16, at 17, then what will you do when you have all the means, you know, to fight for yourself properly, when you have the money, when you have the power? What will you do?
That's where people take guns and start shooting people.
That's what I mean.
That's
because you should be afraid to do certain things as a student, as a young person. So if these children are not afraid, you know, literally, then we really have serious problems on our hands.
Yeah. We've been joined by Divine Pe of African Education Watch, and he's a senior programs manager there. Divine.
David.
Yeah, twice in a week we are talking to you again. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well, David, and I trust you are.
Yes, I am. Yes. Frema is also doing well here. So, Divine, these things have been happening. It's not the first, it's not the second. It's been happening time and again. It's not even only reserved to Koforidua SecTech and New Juaben. Other schools around the country have also been experiencing this. What's the real solution to these happenings?
All right, thank you, and good morning to your viewers. For me, and I believe it starts with us finding the root cause of the riots that have been happening between schools, especially between these 2 schools. GS will have to be interested in what is happening there and put in a committee to especially investigate the root cause, because it looks like it is a cycle of violence that keeps recurring. And not only in this school, we should extend it beyond this school, where there are schools that there are cycle of violence happening between 2 particular schools. GS will need to investigate the root causes and then make the report available publicly so that we can all feed on to advise accordingly. And if they haven't done so yet in this particular instance, it's very important that they initiate steps to investigate what actually is happening between these particular 2 schools.
Yeah.
Having said that, the responsibility of breaking this rivalry between these 2 schools lies with the authority of the 2 schools and then the teachers. I say so because I believe that the teachers, if they're able to send the right tone to the students about what these 2 schools are about, they will embrace some level of cooperation. And in some of the instances, the talk of some of the teachers would paint a picture like they are rivals, the 2 schools are rivals. So the authority will need to put in measures in place to see how they can break the negative rivalry between the 2 schools, replace the negative rivalry with the positive one. And the schools must have, especially the leaders, the heads of the 2 schools, must join to release a joint statement to the students, indicating that they take strong exception to the rivalry that is happening between them. And then also the teachers begin to promote a peaceful collaboration between the 2 schools in their conversation with their colleagues. or with their students. And then also we can also have teachers doing exchange teaching. Once a while,
Okay.
teacher from one of the schools can go there to help with teaching, and then from that school. So if the people or the students begin to see that there's a level of
collaboration,
a collaboration between the two schools are well integrated. They don't see each other as rival again. So once we're able to break this cycle of rivalry, then we are addressing the challenge.
What about
also?
I was going to ask you.
Okay, you come in.
So I was going to ask you, what about the element of actually making sure that the girls component of the Koforidua SecTech, they actually build dormitories on campus to accommodate the girls there? Because what has happened historically is that New Juaben started off as a mixed school with both male and female on campus. Koforidua SecTech is an older school and it was a boys' school, right? And they later introduced ladies on campus, but then the ladies are day because there's no facilities for them to have them, stay on campus. So that's why, from our correspondent, it's possible that when there's entertainment night and all those things, the boys from Koforidua SecTech scale the wall, go over to New Juaben to go and hang out, and ostensibly to chill and chase some of the girls there, and the New Juaben boys are not having any of it.
Oh, okay. So there's a girl's dimension to the story.
There is a girl's dimension to the story.
I presume so, because I know it is one of the causes of the rivalry that happens between schools.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very important that beyond the girls not being on campus and talking about their safety, we need to see how we can have them on campus.
Yeah.
So if the issue is that the other schools want their girls close to them, for me, I don't want to look like, we want to bring the girls closer to them so that they can, as you put it in quotes, chilling with them. Primarily, what we need to do is to be able to understand that even beyond the girls' dimension, there's an element of rivalry. And that rivalry needs to be addressed. So yes, we can, for the security of the girls, for me, I think we can provide them with dormitory on campus. That's for their security. And if that addresses the problem to some extent, why not? That is also welcome. But I believe it goes beyond just the girls' dimension to address other issues of rivalry that may be prompting this. So we need to identify all the elements. If the girls' dimension is one, we need to also identify the other elements or other dimensions that actually cause. That's why I am knocking on the door of GES to actually institute an investigation in this historical instance of rivalry between these schools that is resulting into violence. What at all is the rivalry about? What measures can be put in place? But again, I believe the teachers can target the first years, because it is something that is transgenerational. Once a particular year batch comes, they also pick the rivalry. They naturally pick it, and then when their seniors are left, they also
carry on with it.
So there's a need for the school to target the first year whenever they come. That look, this is what has been happening, and we don't want you to be part of it. And they keep their eyes on the first years. And once that is done, over the years, those that have been having this mindset of rivalry, once they leave the school, we see that this fresh idea would have been now instilled in the school, and we can have an element of students that do not see each other as rivals in these two particular schools. So it's very important for us to have an investigation done to identify the dimension of rivalry.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, David.
All right. So that was Divine Pet, who is the Senior Programs Manager with Africa Education Watch. So I think the message is simple. Let's drill down to the bottom. Police are doing their investigation. They'll come out with their findings. Some of the things are also more obvious, that we definitely, after the police investigation, punishments needs to be meted out. Okay, we can't go soft on it, all right? But there also has to be the plan by GES, to have a more permanent solution, rather than wait for them to misbehave and then we deal with it, a more permanent solution. I think that, look, expand the school facilities. It's a long-term plan, but expand the school facilities. Let's get dormitories on campus for the girls as well.
So that what?
So you see, what it is that the schools share a wall. Ultimately, you can't stop the boys from scaling the wall if they decide that that's what they're going to do. Okay. Have you ever tried this thing at home where I had this incident happen to me recently where I caged my male dog, right? I caged it. I did, all kinds of barbed wire type of thing. The dog bled, and through it tore its way through the reinforcement that I had just to get to the female. Do you see that thing?
Yeah.
It's a certain basic instinct that is there. I think that if you have the girls on campus at Koforidua SecTech, instead of being day students, and you have them on campus, then that edge or desire to say jump the wall and go across because they're having entertainment night. Our girls have gone home to their houses. We also have entertainment night. We have girls on campus.
I disagree with this analogy
you don't like
in
it?
every sense of the word.
Why?
Because Prempeh College is a male school.
Okay.
Opokwara is a male school.
Okay.
Adizadel is a male school.
Okay.
You saw New Juaben Senior High School, and you went to SecTech, knowing very well that this is what you are getting. I went to a girls' school. Look, I went to St. Monica's, and St. Monica's has from primary to JHS to secondary to training college. We don't really have walls, but there are certain boundaries that you will not even cross. Okay, the junior high is mixed. The senior high is female. The training college is female. Now, what I'm trying to say is this is part of the training. Now, if you tell me that because of girls, I will scale the wall, you can't discipline yourself, then we have a problem there.
Yes.
I get where you are coming from. I also even believe, okay, that in trying to train boys and all that, when even girls are around, it helps them behave better. Now, what I'm trying to say is also know the dynamics of where you find yourself. Look, you can't work at Citi TV and think that, oh, other people in other media houses do things like this, so I don't understand why we should not be allowed to do that. Because my point is, you saw the other people. Look, I remember when I was in St. Monica's, St. Monica's is an Anglican school, and in Mampong. Now, you drive past Agona, you drive past other places before you get to St. Monica's. So, whichever denomination you are coming from, you must attend chapel.
It's an Anglican
and it is
school,
an Anglican school. So whoever you are, whether you are Muslim, whether you are Jehovah's Witness, whether you are there, when it's time for you to go for chapel, you will go. You will learn the recitations and everything. Now, there was an instance where we had students from the SDA background go to the headmistress to say that we don't take salmon. And so is it possible that on Thursdays when we eat salmon,
change it for us.
Change it for us. And the headmistress said, okay, no problem. Now go and write the names of all your members. Okay, because because an Anglican school, we have the Protestants who will break and go and do our SU stuff. We had other SDA people meeting and all that. But you must make sure that when it's time for chapel, that the school says it is, you will be present. This lady, their rep was so excited, so she went out there, put a list together of all the names of the SDA students who were there. So when she brought the list, the headmistress said, okay, I'm sure you drove past Aguna SDA before you got to St. Monica's. So I will do you the favor by giving you recommendation letters. So you will be transferred to Aguna SDA, where that place, they don't even, and it is your own. So from morning till night, Monday to Monday, they will do things that really sit well with you. And then these girls were like, no, madam, it's okay, we are fine, we will stay here and all that. All I'm trying to say is, we will not do things just because children are throwing tantrums.
Yes, I agree with you. But you see, my recommendation is because we've set up the school situation in such a way that, first of all, I don't believe that two schools should be sharing a wall. I think that was a mistake in the first place, right? And it's two schools who are not primary schools. These are secondary schools. These are mini adults and adults that are in that space, in these spaces, right? So that's where the first mistake came, right? That they are sharing a wall, right? But for me, it's a mitigating measure that's a long-term plan. that to say that as part of the policy thinking, right, because you've already introduced the girls onto campus, right? So add that extra element of creating a boarding facility. As for the discipline thing, for me, it's a must.
Yeah,
it's a standard.
So,
it has to be
I side
there.
with you on that. If you are telling me that let's get the females on campus for any other reason, I'm fine.
Okay.
Let's say that it's going to be easier for them to study because during prep hours they are in school, during maybe extracurricular activities they are on there. But for the simple reason that these students from SecTech are scaling over the walls because during entertainment they have to they are there because of that is where my point of
no, because you see, the point is that they will scale anyway if they want to go to the
that is what I'm saying. It should not be because of women.
Yes, but you see,
my point is make it difficult for them to scale the walls for whatever reason. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Maybe going into town, being able to jump over to, because it can even be that they are coming there for food. They come there to come and collect something because it's convenient for them. So what I'm trying to say is they find themselves in this space. Make it impossible for them to run out of their purpose of their campus. Do you get it? So if it means that get barbed wires, get razor wires, raise the wall, make it impossible for them. Because my point is, even if
let the girls come on campus.
So that what? So that the girls are coming to entertain them.
No.
So that you see, that's
we have our own girls. We don't need to go and follow other girls.
My issue is, so create whatever entertainment and stuff you have for the day. Do you get it? If you really want your ladies to be part of it, because New Japan cannot also set their activities to favor you. Do you get where I'm coming from? Talk to your authorities. And if you have any form of entertainment and stuff like that, you can decide to do your entertainment on Fridays at 2 p.m. Nothing really spoils that. But my point is, you will not break the rules simply because...
No, that's what the rules are. You will not break the rules.
If I'm eating chicken...
There's no reason under the sun to break the rules.
If I'm eating chicken in my home, and my next door neighbor can afford herrings, and they are eating herrings, the child cannot be jumping the wall to come and tell me that I wanted the chicken, so I scale over. Then why is it that mommy is not bringing? Then mommy has to bring chicken into the house at all times. My point is, understand that this is what mommy can provide.
Yes.
And discipline your children to know that you cannot be jumping over. It is illegal.
Fair point. All point made. But you see, again, let me use this other analogy here, where you go on the road in Accra, right? What is our speed limit in town? Our speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour in town. Have you ever tried driving at 50 kilometers per hour?
Yes.
Do you see how uncomfortable it is driving at 50 kilometers per hour? But that's the law.
It is called discipline.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I can say that if you take any road, let's take the Kumasi, or let's say circle to Achimota. Take the N1 from Fiesta Royal. In fact, no, let's start from Achimota to Tetekwashi. Let's take Legon to Adenta, or let's start from Tetekwashi to Adenta. I can tell you for free, if you like, take me on and go and try it out and test. Okay, on any given day. Don't do it on a rainy day like today. There's not on a nice, sunny, bright, clear day. 95 to 99% of the cars on that road do not drive at the speed limit. They drive over the speed limit, right? What are we doing? What are we saying? We have created a law and a system that everybody is breaking freely and nobody gets arrested. I'm just saying that create an environment that we can live within the laws that we set for ourselves, so that when you are punishing, you punish properly.
I agree.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So you have made that law. You say 50 kilometers per hour. I know many of you have tried driving at 50 kilometers per hour. You see how the speed is. And then the road is in front of you and the road is open and there are no cars and you are driving at 50 kilometers per hour because the law says drive 50 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Even the policeman, as he's looking at you, he's wondering why you're even driving slowly like that.
Because people sleep on the job, and that is what it means. Elsewhere, when you move out of Ghana, it means that if you want to cross the road...
But their speed limits are more realistic.
No, but you see,
they raise it so that you can drive properly.
No, hold on. What I'm trying to say is...
that's what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to say is, elsewhere, they tell you that if you are a pedestrian and you want to cross the road, wait for the pedestrian traffic light.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To give you the green indication
Yes.
before you do that.
Yes.
Now, when these people get there
Yes.
and there's no car passing,
Yes.
once their indicator is on red, they stand there. Meanwhile, there's no car coming. What I'm trying to say is, in our world, indiscipline is very, very high.
Yes.
From the citizens
Everybody
to those who
to
are
the
supposed
enforcers.
to implement, to do all this.
Enforcers.
Because you see, you can't tell me that it's okay, we have to change the laws or we have to do something.
No, it's not about changing the laws,
no,
but rather
I get it. But my point is,
let things be realistic.
it is realistic because, let me use the La Paz Road, for instance.
Yes.
Look at the number of shops along that stretch.
Yes.
And look at the danger with speeding vehicles.
Yes.
People are dying every day.
Yes.
But it is so because the laws are there. We did not just wake up one day and say that drive at 50 kilometers per hour in residential areas. It's because yesterday we were talking about it. A child can cross you because these people are there. If you're on a highway where we do not expect residences to be here, we give you the room to drive, I mean, at top speed. Okay, because
not
we
at top speed.
No, I mean not speed.
Yeah.
You understand? But there's a specific, it's not 50.
Yeah.
Because we know that
you have 80.
no child will be crossing, or you don't have elderly people trying to do all those kind of things. But if you find yourself in a residential area, regardless of how good the road is, we have homes along these places.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Somebody can just run out, you know. So that is why we tell you that, yes, we know it is uncomfortable. We know that you are driving a Mercedes-Benz. You know, it can really move at top speed, but you can't do that. And people flout the laws because we sleep on the job, and they know that if I flout it, nothing will happen. And really, they flout it and nothing really happens.
Don't you think that sometimes our regulations are also a little unrealistic and maybe outdated? And that those things need to be reviewed.
You see, those ones are there.
Yes.
And it's also as a result of we sleeping on the job for indiscipline to take over, like on the motorway. Now, we've allowed people to live very close to the motorway, and so it has made nonsense of that law. When it happens like that, then we may have to come back to review some of these things, although it is indiscipline that has brought us here, because realistically, we are not supposed to have residential facilities within certain radius, okay? But so it comes back to the indiscipline. We've sat back, allowed people to
just go on and
that is why now it looks unrealistic, okay? But if we all stuck to what the law said, what it was stipulated to be, you realize that these things would have really made sense to us. Now, because people live there, we have to create other routes of the motorway, which was not supposed to be so. Do you get where I'm coming from? So the level of indiscipline in our community is very
high.
Otherwise, look, we always have to change something to suit our indisciplined lives, and we can't do that. So if the authorities, for whatever reason, believe that girls are not supposed to be there for now, the students must live their lives within that rules and regulations.
They couldn't afford it. That's why they didn't build the girls'
So still, that is it. And my point is, you saw New Juaben, and you went for SecTech, whether it was issues with grades,
by the days
whether
of
it was issues.
You can go to whichever school.
That is what I'm saying. That whatever
is full, so the rest of you are spilled over into.
Unfortunately, this is where you find yourself. So that's what I'm saying. That look, you can't say that I'm in Ghana, but I want to live like the Americans, and so I'll do things that. This is where you find yourself. So discipline yourself and live within the laws that govern the space. If you skill, it is illegal. They should deal with you.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come on Breakfast Daily.